that you've been waiting for. Me. Na, 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 na. Whoa, na, 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 na. This my time to shine.
I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I am no regular citizen. Nope. Do you understand what you witnessing? You cannot tell what the difference is. I want it all and I'm winning it. I do not care about opinions. Time to make a few decisions so I can take your position. I'ma go get it, I'm punching and kicking. I keep on moving, they off of me. Just do it and stop at our talking G. I'm not expressing no modesty. I can't see nobody stopping me. If there's a problem, I gotta solve it. Straight to the top, I can't see myself falling. I gotta grab it, there's no time for stalling. Number one stunner, don't have other options. Now I'm fired up. I'm sorry, brother, your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. I came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I gotta go for the gold. I need to switch up the mode. I'm gonna win on my own. I'm in a whole nother zone. I reached the pinnacle. I don't have time, this is critical. It's time to finish you. I don't care who I just did it to. I gotta go for the gold. I need to switch up the mode. I'm gonna win on my own. I'm in a whole nother zone. I reached the pinnacle. I don't have time, this is critical. It's time to finish you. I don't care who I just did it to. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now, and I ain't never gon' back down. Said I'm fired up. I'm sorry, your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. Came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up.
Oh yeah.
It's the start of the second week here at the 13th CISM Women's Military Football Championship. It's a gorgeous day here in Spokane. 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 23.9 degrees Celsius as Mali gets ready to take on the Netherlands. Hi everybody, bonjour, hello. I'm Alex Gould, merci, bedanks. Thank you for joining us here today. Alongside me is U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. And Shelby, it's the start of week 2. If it is anything like week 1 of this tournament, fans are in for another exciting week of football.
Alex, we've seen 14 amazing matches so far in the first week, and like you said, action-packed. We've had a ton of different teams come out, show us their skills, and really get their legs here in the first week. And now, the second week, we're going to see, I'm sure, a ton of great football.
Let's take a look at the updated rankings, at the updated group standings as they stand after the first week. Take a look there. It was Group A action yesterday. Cameroon, 9 points. South Korea, 9 points there, Shelby. And of course, this is Group B action today. The Netherlands and the Mali, both looking for their first win of the tournament.
Absolutely. Both teams are coming out hard, and Mali down 2 players, but I think that they're going to make some adjustments and be able to come out and score a goal or win here today.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from yesterday from Group A action. In that first match yesterday, you had Cameroon with a 3-0 defeat of Germany. That got Cameroon to get to 9 points for the first time in Group A, and boy, Shelby, have they been dominant.
You saw their celebration was amazing. All the teams have been so happy and working hard to get these wins. Cameroon, Ireland yesterday also winning against Belgium 1-0, and their celebration was also really big, and that was their first goal of the tournament.
Yeah, Ireland defeating Belgium. That was a battle of two nations, Shelby, much like Mali, who's searching for its first win, not just in this tournament, but in its nation's military history. On the women's football side of things, 3 nations here in this tournament: Mali, Belgium, and Ireland. Ireland, in their 3rd match ever, not easy to do, knocked off Belgium thanks to a late goal in the 79th minute of that match, and both teams played hard. It was a draw at halftime, but the Irish were celebrating when it was all said and done.
Well, you said it. In the last final few minutes, the Irish scored that goal, and it was an eruption from the team, the players, people on the bench. It was wild. And Mali getting to come out here and hopefully do the same. What motivation for today to come out and play their hardest here against the Netherlands.
So there's a bit of a delay here, and we'll let you know what's going on. There's 2 players that are supposed to miss this match for Mali. Aissata Keita should be out because of the double yellow card she received last match. Double yellow, of course, means a red, and you have to sit out next match. And then also Rokia Bagayoku is another player that received 2 yellow cards in back-to-back matches. She got a yellow card in the 94th minute against South Korea, and then also got a yellow card last match as well. So that was the holdup. They were making sure that the rosters were in line. Those 2 players are not even allowed to sub in today. That's why we had the delay. So they're getting ready for the CISM March. Well, now we are going to get the CISM March. And of course, the CISM March unites these 2 nations between the Netherlands and Mali. And you can see here, yet again, Shelby, another good shot. They've done such a great job of getting the boys and girls to be able to hold the hands of a lot of these players that they looked up to from these nations.
Absolutely. The Fairchild Youth Sports Soccer League, Spokane Surfs Soccer League, and the Spokane Youth Sports Soccer League. Tons of words there and tons of little kids out here who have been, like you said, looking up to these girls playing these games and playing the game that they love, walking out on the field here at Union Stadium with both teams.
Just think about that experience. We talk about this all the time. I know for you and I, it looks good on a resume, I'll tell you that. But for a lot of these young boys and girls to be able to look up to people, like we've said, that serve their countries, even if it's not the United States. Of course, these are American boys and girls. They still look up to these women for what they do on and off the pitch. We always talk about this. This is one of the best shots all tournament long. And they practice this every single time, from the flag holders to the music and the PA guy. They practice this to make sure they're in line, which is really cool to see. But that's the CISM March. Now we will get the national anthem for the Netherlands and then the national anthem for Mali.
And now the national anthem of Mali. Thank you. You may be seated.
Two beautiful national anthems there for the Netherlands and Mali. As we take a look at this matchup here, Shelby, little tail of the tape as you see these young boys and girls coming off the pitch there, elated because that's what we were talking about. But the Netherlands, they drew against Canada. That's why they have their 1 point. Mali is 0-2, but they had to play France and South Korea. Tough draw to start the tournament. Mali looking for its first ever win in the CISM Women's Military Football Championship. The Netherlands looking for their first win of the tournament here. They got their first goal the other day, so that was a good start. They're hoping that they can win today.
And you saw both teams are so excited. The Netherlands team clapping hands, handshaking, laughing, getting ready for the starting lineup here while we have the captains flip the coin.
You see Fatoumata Dembele there, as well as the captain for the Netherlands. That is Refke de Rijer, meeting with the head referees. Jan Wild is the head ref from Germany. Then Tobias Kosiski is the AR1 from Germany. The AR2 is George Prionis from Canada. And he shouts out Rachel Roman. He said, Daddy misses you, and he will see you soon. A nice shout out there to his daughter Rachel. And then the fourth official today from Cameroon is Therese Ami Nteme Zoa. So those are the four refs. Now we'll take a look at the starting lineup and the starting 11 first for Mali. For Mali in goal is Fatoumata Karantao. The left back is Fanta Kunadi. The left center back is Umu Tangara. The right center back is Fatoumata Dembele. And then the right back rounding out the back line is Fatoumata Karambe. The holding midfielder is Mariam Kita. The left mid is Binta Didara. And then the right mid is Fatoumata Giara. Up top and up front for Mali in the 4-3-3. The left wing is Fatoumata Kobili. Center forward is Umu Koni, who scored their first goal ever against South Korea a couple matches ago. The right wing to round out the starting 11 for Mali is Nana Diarra. Now taking a look at the starting 11 for the Dutch. In goal is Zoe van Broekhoven. Then the left back is Mount Sockball. The left center back is Lindsay Habriel. The right center back is Emma Verdosdonk. The right back is Diana Vanderpool. In the midfield is Mora Misaglia. The right mid is Refka Derier. Then the forwards, left wing is Bo Peters. The other forward is Mahrit Somsom. The right wing is Daniela Vanderpool. And then the center forward, rounding out the starting 11 for the Dutch, is Rihanna Urians. So there are the starting 11. The Netherlands will start with the ball. Again, we say hello. 9-hour difference in the Netherlands. I know it's 12:30 a.m. Tuesday night, morning, however you want to look at it. In Mali, a 7-hour difference. So 10:30 p.m. But we say hi to those of you who have stayed up late to watch these two military nations and these women compete out on the pitch.
I don't know if you caught that there. The Mali team was taking a picture before the game, hoping this is the game, the time, the place to get that first goal in the CISM tournament.
So, of course, the Dutch are in the orange and black. Mali is in the yellow and blue uniforms. We are underway here. That's Van Broekhoven, the keeper, who's been tested a lot here in this tournament. And that is who we think is the most dangerous player on this Netherlands team, Mount Sockball. And here's a test early for the Dutch and a good clearance there by the left center back in Umu Tangara. So a throw in here for the Netherlands. Liana Vanderpool, the right back, will take it here. So this will be a goal kick here for Fatoumata Karantao. And as we mentioned, Shelby, the big story in this one is Aissata Keita, one of the best backs in the tournament because of her double yellow card last match against France, is out, not allowed to compete because of the CISM rules. And then Rukia Bagayoku, another one, a good winger for this Mali team. She plays up front. She is out as well because of back-to-back yellow cards in back-to-back matches. So Mali is 2 women short today.
You know, we talked about it a little bit. Having that full 21 lady roster for both teams is so vital because of the injuries like this, but because it could be any type of injury. It could be sickness or an injury, and that these ladies, a yellow card, in this case red card, that they have to sit out, and being able to trust your entire roster of a team to be able to fill in those places is very vital.
And that's what the discussion was earlier, why we started just a little bit later today, because they were making sure that those 2 players, and it was clear, of course, to those 2 players that they were not allowed to compete today. And we've talked about this, and it's our job to talk about it, but the double yellow, anytime you get a red card in a match, I'm okay with that player sitting out the next match. The other one's a little bit tougher. It's still the rules, and you have to abide by the rules, mind you. But it's a little bit tougher when you get a yellow card in one match, then the next match a couple of days later you pick up a yellow, and then you can't compete in the next match. I don't know if I quite agree with that one. Could be a chance here for Mali. Right foot try. Well off the mark that time was Fatoumata Diarra, and it will be a goal kick for Van Broekhoven. Got the chance to talk to both coaches earlier, and Oma Sibi, as well as some of the assistants for the Netherlands, and they were talking about how, boy, it feels a lot cooler today. Sun's still out, and that's great. They said it's a lot cooler. 75 degrees. Can't get any better than this.
Well, even here in the booth, Alex, every single game other than this one, we've had these big windows open, getting that breeze and having to fight the wind for our papers. But this time we get to have the windows closed, and it doesn't feel like a sauna. No
pressure here from Mali. So holding the ball is Habriel, saying, okay, gonna put no pressure. We'll wait. There's Bo Paters. Isaglia. This is suck ball. Throw in here for Mali. This is Karambe. You see Mount suck ball over there. From 2016 to 2020, she was the top class Aldenia. Might mess up some of these names, but going to shout it out anyway. In 2021 and 2022, she was in the 3E class, Zigo. She's looked like one of the best backs in the tournament, Shelby. She is so tough to score on. I think you see a lot of these nations not even testing the far side, that left side of the pitch, because she's over there. And then they've had to switch her at times from left to right. She is the best defender for the Dutch. I was talking with some of the coaches for the Netherlands before this match, and they were talking about how she was saying, listen, I have troubles with the heat at times, and was talking about how it's going to be hot in Spokane. And I said, well, she's looked pretty good to me, and they said she's looked better than pretty good. She's looked great. So I don't think the heat has affected her, and if it has, she has not shown it at all.
Well, definitely not today. Not a ton to worry about the heat here in Union Stadium.
That's going to be the first whistle from our head referee and Jan Wild from Germany. That's a foul on the Dutch. That was a foul there on Daniela van der Poel. A free kick here for Umu Tangara. So how can this Mali team react to losing two of their starters?
I think it's all about adjustments, right? And adjustments in play, obviously adjustments in players, but having the trust in your teammates to pick up any slack, if any, on the team and on the sides that they're missing the players.
You can see, too, they're having some jersey issues as well. This is Fanta Kunati. And Kunati, with a jersey issue, they had to, I think, tape a number to the back of the jersey. It works just the same, and this is going to be, that was smart there by the keeper and Carantao to make sure that she didn't grab that with her hands after it was punched back by Dembele. As if she did, that would have been a penalty kick for the Netherlands. Good ball here. Flag stays down. This is Van der Poel. Van der Poel going to cross one in. Dutch looking for their first. It was on frame. Maybe not exactly what Van der Poel was trying to do, but it's a stop by the keeper and Carantao.
We've seen, too, Carantao has done a phenomenal job in the back. She's coming out, definitely not afraid of the ball, and she's been doing, like I said, a phenomenal job in the back, just making sure that even if there are scoring goals, they are the hard ones, impossible ones that she couldn't have had the chance to grab.
So our match tonight, our second match of the second week, start of the second week here in Spokane, France versus Canada. So Canada looking for their first win of the tournament, looking for their first goal and their first tally of the tournament. That was the Netherlands' last match, Shelby, until a substitute and Caroline Moland scored the first goal against South Korea. What a moment that was. I know they wound up losing that match, but boy, the team was elated. It can be frustrating when you have opportunities and can't put it into the back of the net. So even though they lost to a really tough South Korean team, who's on the top of the Group B standings, they were very happy that they scored in the 94th minute. This could be an opportunity here for Kubili, but Kubili was dispossessed. This matchup, too, you can see it on your screen. The Dutch have the size in this match, so maybe a little bit more physical, but this Mali team, they're so quick. They want to play with pace. They want to push as fast as they can on the attack. So big question is, I think, for the Netherlands, can they stay back, play 1v1 defense, keep up with this Mali team, but also can this Mali team match the physicality of the Dutch?
I think both teams, too, have pretty good motivation, right? The Mali team is trying to score their first goal of the tournament, but the Netherlands, this is their last game of group play. So maybe they're looking to kind of finish out the tournament, the group play with a bang.
We saw Germany end their group play yesterday. Another European nation will end their group play today. Those will be the first two nations that will be done until the final matches this Friday. And I also like the way this tournament is set up in so many ways. I think the CISM committee and the council has done such a phenomenal job in making sure that each nation has one more match to play after group play and playing someone in a different group. I think that's so cool. I think that's unique. So you have the 4 matches in group play. This will be a free kick here for Mali. But you also then have the 9th place match, so it'll be the last place of each group. Then you have the 7th place match, be second to last in Group A and B. The 5th place match, that will be 3rd place in Group A and B. Bronze medal match, 2nd place in Group A and B. And then the gold medal match, which will be the top teams and top nations in each group. So free kick here. This is Dembele. Dembele, wide of the mark. Tried to take one to the keeper in Van Broekhoven, but was well off the mark. But I think it's so well thought out and special that these nations then get to play another nation from the other group.
Absolutely, and they have a lot of time to really check out the other group teams and get to see their strategies, so it might be something that they can pull out some tricks up their sleeve that for the next team that they're playing. And you have to think, it has to be a little bit, I would say, bittersweet for the teams who are kind of rounding up their end here in the tournament. You know, they're excited to come play here, but it's been a tough couple weeks for a lot of these teams. Just an intense scheduling between all of the matches and practices and making sure everyone's getting dinner and food and transportation. But then it's also kind of sad that they're ending their time here and they'll go back to their nations and go back to their, you know, day-to-day lives.
But that's why, too, the break because of COVID's still going on, of course, but the break and the height of the pandemic, not having played from, I believe it was 2019 in China to 2022 here in Spokane. And so, you know, a lot of these women, I've almost felt like the Olympics, right? A lot of these women were missing this action and missing the opportunity. We may have seen Mali and Ireland and Belgium a lot quicker than we would have. And so, I should say, we wound up seeing them a lot slower than we would have. Could have seen them in 2020. But it's good to see 3 new nations compete. And maybe another nation, Shelby, has been watching and saying, you know what? When it's in the Netherlands next year in 2023, we want to be there. The goal is for this to be like the Olympics or the World Cup and have 32 teams, 64 teams, 64 nations. That is the goal. And some people may say, well, listen, that's going to be pretty tough to do. But even with the World Cup, even with the Olympics, that was a dream one day that someone sat there or a committee sat there, a group of people said, hey, we want men and women to compete from all over the world. Almost, too, as a sign of peace in a lot of ways. And to be able to compete against each other and hear each other's stories. Otherwise, you'd never get the chance to. And so that's similar here in the World Military Football Championship.
I like how you brought that up there. It was a dream once, right? Even the Netherlands team was one of the first people that asked the question, why don't we have a women's military football team? And that's how the birth of CISM really started, was with the Netherlands and Canada and a little bit of Germany, just really thinking that question and being the first people to step up, asking why we don't have it.
And I know, too, that there's some nations that have competed previously that couldn't make it this year. But I know a lot of people are hoping to see them at some point in these games. For the most part, too, it's a lot of the same nations that have competed. But Brazil, who's won a lot of gold medals, they have won the most. They have 5 gold medals. The next closest is Germany, as well as North Korea, who have 2 each. And so those 2. And then France with 1, the Dutch with 1, and USA with 1.
I think, too, the beauty of it, of having the same few nations compete every year, is that break and that getting to see each other annually. You know, these ladies, they make the friends with these nations, and then next year they'll be able to see some of the same people, and it's kind of like a reunion to see these teams and these friends that they've made last year.
So 0-0, 16th minute. There's a left foot try, and it's stopped by the keeper, and Carantao well wide of the mark. That was off the left foot of DeRier. So still 0-0 here. Both teams feeling each other out, trying to mount an attack any way they can. Not a great pass there. Here's Bo Peters. The keeper is down here for Mali. The training staff going to take a look on Carantao. Not exactly sure what happened there to Carantao, but you see the head coach in Judith Kippers, military policewoman, never stops coaching. Trying to fire up the ladies. You got the Mali coaching staff. Omar Sibi, the head coach for this Mali military team. So Carantao back up, says that she's okay to go. 19th minute between these two nations. Alex Gould alongside me is U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. Gorgeous day here in Spokane.
Looks like a little bit of crowding there. I don't know if you saw the collision there between Coney and Kita there in the middle.
So played out wide here, left back in Kunati. Kunati tries to find the middle of the pitch in Coney. Finds the feet of Nana Diarra. There is Suckball. Diarra finds it left foot, try and a save there for Van Broekhoven. Good save by Van Broekhoven, diving to her right, and a good attack there by Mali. That started with Kunati, the left back, just getting it towards the middle of the pitch, just outside the 18. Went over the head of Umu Kone, and Nana Diarra did a great job on the backside of that play. Took a left foot try. Van der Velde. Here's Nana Diarra. Suck ball. There she is again. Not easy to get it by number 5 for the Dutch. And a foul was called on Nana Diarra.
What's interesting about Diarra, too, she is the youngest player on the team for Mali. She's 19 years old, and she's come out here and really put her mark on the field in Spokane.
We were talking about Maltaidel, the referee for Belgium, the other day, being 19. But also imagine coming out here and showcasing what you can do at such a young age. And that's what's so beautiful, too, about looking at the rosters. And a lot of times we don't like to age a lot of people, but you have a lot of women that, are mid-30s. And you have someone you're talking about who's 19 for Mali. That's going to be a handball. A free kick here for the Dutch. 19 years old. Getting to learn, getting to grow.
When you talk about the leadership and the mentorship and the age variety and the range in between these teams, it is getting that opportunity and that experience to talk to these other women who are in the military, who are in your military, or perhaps not your military or branch, or just different types of walks of life, and getting to learn from each of these women, not only soccer and football, but the military side of things, the women's side of things. And it's just a great, great opportunity here at CISM.
That was a good try there by Van der Velde. Was looking for Bo Paters, just a little bit too much on the touch. Also, too, you're talking about learning and growing and getting to know certain things. This is my first time I've ever stayed on an Air Force base. It's just been so cool to see. Right? There's not a lot of people who get that experience unless you're in the military or doing some sort of business with the military. That's what all the nations are getting the chance to do, to stay on a different military base. Fairchild has just been so fun to kind of look around and get shown around. And a lot of these nations I know are enjoying it. I have definitely enjoyed my time. It's been so much fun to see. Just hearing different stories from some of these ladies, but also some people who are serving in the U.S. Air Force, who are stationed over at Fairchild Air Force Base. And I know a lot of them have been coming out to watch.
Well, an event like this, and it's free, this is an amazing event to come out here, check it out for little to nothing, and sit here, watch the other teams play, watch them interact, and watch them interact with the community and the civilians and anybody else who is here watching. It's just a fun time, and it's definitely a great time to spend your time for the next 2 weeks. You can come out and watch 1 game, 2 games, all the games. We're coming in here to the hydration break, I think.
Yep, hydration break here for Mali and the Netherlands.
As the teams take their water break, feel free to
Definitely a lot cooler today, but still having a hydration break helps. That way, you can get the fluids you need in your system, but also talk over the strategy, right? 0-0 here, 24th minute. But I know we have a really cool thing we want you to see. A bunch of our crew have been working really hard, but also there's been some time-lapse videos, and if you don't know what a time-lapse is, basically showing a video of a full match in about the span of 45 to 60 seconds. It's just been really unique to see. I know our very own Sam Morse has been capturing these. He's doing a phenomenal job. So much photography, so much video editing and skills like this. But also he's one of our sound guys, working the soundboard, making sure you sound good, that I sound okay, good enough. But this is one of the coolest things. And we're going to be showing more of these this week. But there is Sergeant Kuhn there, who's working one of the cameras. Just so fun to see. And you can see the lights start coming on here. But capturing, that's the technology we have too, capturing a full match, Shelby, in the span of about 45 seconds to a minute. Just amazing. So big shout out to Sam, who's just doing such a phenomenal job. Also Sergeant Kuhn there, right?
I was just going to say that. And capturing Tech Sergeant Kuhn's movements there, trying to catch the movement on the field for these ladies and making sure that the people watching get the best product.
So hydration break is over. Both nations back out onto the pitch. Possession right now, I'd say, is about 50-50. Taking a look at shots, Mali has 3. The Dutch have 1. This could be an opportunity. Just outside the 18. Now inside the 18. Played back. Right foot to left foot. This is Nana Diarra. Back out to Umu Kone. Umu Kone, who scored the very first goal for Mali in its nation's history in this event. Van der Velde. Chance here on the outside, the far flank, getting it to the middle. Could be a shot for the Dutch here. And no one else was in sight. That was Margriet Somsom. A nice defense and good help there by Fanta Konati. So Konati did a nice job there of dispossessing Somsom. And coming from the left back position towards the middle of the pitch to help out her teammates.
Kunani is a Mali player, one of the few Mali players that have a yellow card and that they're playing here with it on their back. And we've seen already with the Mali team having 2 players sit out. She does not want to get a yellow card in this game and have to sit out the next game that she has. It's really something that she's going to have to learn. Be aggressive, but be fair so we can make sure that she doesn't get another yellow card in this game.
I think there's 4 players. We talked about the 2 players who were out. I think there's 4 players playing with the yellow card from last match for Mali, so they do got to be careful here. This is a corner kick, and immediately into the arms and hands of Van Broekhoven. It's going to be a foul there on Mariam Kita.
Immediate pressure there from the Mali team.
Good ball here. Could be an opportunity. Binta Biara, and how about that? The keeper in Van Broekhoven. Little slide tackle there. Perfectly timed, and she was way outside the 18. She was almost near center circle.
Well, you mentioned it a lot, too, during the tournament, is that hesitation, the decisiveness for the goalie. And she decided, I'm getting that ball, and she did just that.
So the Dutch, they lost 8-0 to their European counterparts in France in the first match of the tournament. Drew 0-0 against Canada. and lost to South Korea 5-1, but of course related, got that goal in added time. And for Mali, they lost to South Korea 4-1 in the very first match, and then lost a couple of days ago to France 5-1. Flag goes up, offside there on Fatoumata Kubili. Also, too, I think for Mali competing for their first time, I'm wondering if there's even extra motivation, of course not to just only win your first match, but extra motivation to do what Cameroon is doing. Cameroon has been here for a number of years now, and they could be the first African nation to win a gold medal, but also be the first African nation to medal ever in this tournament. No African nation has ever medaled. Bronze, silver, gold. Cameroon, if they draw against Belgium or win, they are into the gold medal match.
And you have to imagine the support from both of these African nations that they have in rooting for each other to get to that gold medal match and win, maybe win the CISM tournament. You know, we talk about trust too, and I'm seeing very often the defensive line for the Netherlands passes back to Van Broekhoven. They just have so much trust in her skill to either boot it out, to pass it to who it needs to be passed to, and to make those decisions that she needs to.
Could have someone here. That touch wasn't quite there from Somsom. Good foot skills here by Umu Koni. Koni trying to find a teammate. Giara, right foot try. Nobody there on the ricochet. And that's something we've seen a lot in this tournament, Shelby. Is once it goes off the keeper, you got to crash the goal. And so there, Mali didn't in that instance. We've seen a lot of players doing that, but also on the flip side of that, defensively for the Netherlands, they did a good job making sure that no one could crash and get the deflection and put it into the back of the net.
You said exactly what I was thinking. Crashing the goal is so important when you're taking a shot, because anything could happen, and a ricochet can come off Van Broekhoven, and having another player, a Mali player, in there to get a touch on the ball.
That right foot try is wide there from Binta Diarra. A good run there by Fatoumata Diarra, but couldn't quite work around two defenders. Got it to Binta Diarra, but Binta Diarra was a little bit wide of the mark. So Patriots has switched sides of the pitch here, now over here on the near side. Patriots was the starting left wing. It looks like she's more in a midfield role here. They've switched her to the near side. They've switched Van der Velde to the left wing. Good header there. And no foul called. Fatimata Jirara went down. The head referee there from Germany, and Jan Wild, said play on. So Umu Tangara to take the free kick here for Mali. If she wants to go short here, try and get it near the 18. Tangara is near the 18 on the outskirts. Off a couple of heads there. Could be a try. The whistle blew. Boy. And so Mali was set up for a potential goal opportunity there for Umu Koni. Jan Wild, the head referee, blew the whistle. So I understand there, Shelby, in that instance. Players down, of course, for the Dutch. And a player is Emma Verdasdank, making sure she's okay. But that's one of those situations I can understand respectfully, at least talking to Jan Wild and saying, okay, 100% injury, we are concerned about that. But we were set up inside the 18 and could have had a chance for a goal. That's why I was a little confused, because he didn't point the other way saying that it was a foul on Mali. I think he was just stopping the play because Verdasdank went down.
You can see a lot of conversation between the head ref and the refs themselves, kind of discussing on what to do here after that play.
So I don't know if this is going to be a Mali free kick or a drop ball here. If it is, it's got to go the way of Mali. They had possession, so the Netherlands should be able to kick it to Mali, but that is one of those that would be a little bit frustrating. Again, very much concerned about Verdasdank there. But that's one of those, when it's inside the 18, you don't see a lot of referees blow the whistle. Unless it's a foul going the other way, and it's not. I mean, this is going to be a drop ball, I believe, and it should be Mali's ball, and they should be allowed to take it. They shouldn't have to give it back to the Dutch. And it was a drop ball, and that was a right foot try by Koni. Boy, I don't know. That was one of, I guess, the stranger plays we've seen here in the tournament. Now Bo Peters, Netherlands, the other way. And again, not saying that Koni was going to connect into the back of the net. Hard to do. A lot of times when a player goes down, unless it's a foul being called against Mali, you're not stopping the play there when the team has a potential chance to score. A lot of times the referees will wait to see the play, right, and then call and blow the whistle.
I think flexibility is really a big one here right after that play, is the Mali team not getting down or frustrated about a call that may not have went the way that they wanted to, but listening to the head ref while they're just being able to come back. Okay, so this is what happened. We need to just have another chance on the goal then.
Right, and you're absolutely right, because what's called is called. You're not going to change the call, but also, too, I think Jan Wild realized, you know what, this was an attacking opportunity. A lot of times you drop ball, Netherlands will kick it back, it'll be Mali's ball, or vice versa, or whatever. But I think he realized, you know what, that could have been a potential scoring opportunity. So that's why he allowed Koni to almost essentially have a shot, but it was deflected right away. Just outside the 18. Both teams looking for their first goal of the match. 0-0, 39th minute. Closing minutes here of the first half. Very evenly matched so far between these two.
You know, we were talking about that yesterday with Ireland versus Belgium. They were well-matched
Good
teams.
ball here. Koni, one-on-one with the keeper. Koni into the back of the net. The first for Mali and the second goal of the tournament. What a ball inside the 18. And Mali has their first. They lead it 1-0 here in the 39th minute.
We've seen it time and time again in this tournament. They push past, the being calm, being collected right there in front of the goalpost. When the goalie is running out to you, Von Broekhoven was coming out with speed and with strength and bravery, and she just passed in there. Coney very, very confidently and very perfectly right there and hit the side net of the goal.
And what a ball into the 18 by Umu Tangara, the left center back. Used the outside of her right foot there, Shelby, to kind of boot that thing. And what have we talked about all tournament? You can boot the ball down the pitch on your attacking third, anywhere near the 18. Sometimes good things happen. And in that situation, she's just trusting the speed and the will of Umu Coney to put that into the back of the net. So it was one Umu to another. It was Tangara to Coney. Coney finishes for her second goal of the tournament. We're just talking about, we played to a 0-0 draw. It's been pretty even. But boy, that is a spectacular ball on the outside of the foot there by Tangara, who gets the assist. Bo Peters out wide. Van der Poel. The Dutch trying to answer. Now inside the 18. Peters. Last touched by Molly. And that was last touched by the assist maker and Tangara. So we will get a corner kick here on the near side. I like this response here from the Dutch. Like you've talked about, can't get down. Only trail 1-0. Give Molly credit. Try and come back and tie this match.
I mean, you can't help but imagine the will and the motivation for the Netherlands team here to get it in the goal right after a score from Molly.
Van der Velde to take it here for the Dutch. Looking for the equalizer. Not even 2 minutes later. Van der Velde, good ball. Peters, and it was over everything. Boy, that was a great ball off the right foot of Van der Velde. But Peters was high off the head. Tell you what, Omar Sibi has to be pleased with that goal there for Molly. They have the chance to take their first lead into a half in this tournament. Be the first time they've led going into halftime in its nation's history.
That can really be great motivation too, having a goal coming into the second half, coming out heads high. You know, we did in the first half, let's do it in the second half for the Molly team.
Umu Coney and confidence from Cameroon, very similar. So quick, and if the defenders aren't ready, they're going to blow right by them. So that's why a lot of times, especially on confidence Cameroon, you're seeing this with Coney here, they'll mark on her. They will make sure that it's one person's job on the back line to stay step for step, if they can, with Coney. And the Dutch couldn't, and that's why Coney was able to score that goal.
I always find it a little bit interesting when the defensive line crosses the ball in front of the goal on their defensive half with a team this quick like Molly, because a slight interception can give a 1v1 with the goalie and another player. It is bold.
I'm wondering why the play's not being blown dead here. That makes absolutely no sense. Van der Velde looking for the equalizer. Van der Velde just over the crossbar. Was it touched by the keeper and Karantao? It was not. It's going to be a goal kick. But see, Shelby, that doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense. That's what I didn't understand earlier of why the play was blown dead on the attacking opportunity. And that's one of those situations, Shelby, where this is way outside the 18. This is on the near side of the pitch. And almost allowed the Dutch to score there with Van der Velde. But do you see the discussion here? I think Molly's going to wonder why the play was blown dead just outside the 18 and why the play wasn't blown dead here.
Too, it may be one of those situations where Von Wild wasn't looking, couldn't see the backside there, where the play was kind of up a little bit forward ahead. We really don't know.
So that's Tangara, Umu Tangara, who set up the first goal. But yeah, I saw she got a kind of a boot to the right leg. That's why she went down. But I'm okay. If you're going to blow that play dead when Mali had the chance just outside the 18, then I think you blow the play dead here. Or vice versa. If you're not going to blow that play dead, then you don't blow this play dead. So I was a little bit surprised that Von Wild elected to blow the play dead just outside the 18 for Mali and not here.
There will be a minimum of 2 minutes stoppage time. 2 minutes stoppage
So
time.
2 minutes being added, 2 minutes of additional time. Is it enough for either of these nations? Here's Coney, who scored the first. Coney just sticks with it, winning the 50-50 balls. Slide tackle. And it's going to go the way of Mali. Boy, Umu Coney showcasing her skills.
Well, I'll say even 13 Gabriel for the Netherlands team has been a wall back there. She's been deflecting a lot of the balls and a lot of the attacks from the Mali team.
Dutch looking for a counter here, but again, the speed from Mali. Van der Velde tries to play it to herself. Passed back. And the keeper can't pick it up here. And I believe, yeah. Did the whistle blow? No. That was... maybe they're saying an unintentional ball. That didn't make sense either. That looked like a pass back from the right center back in Fatoumata Dembele to Karantao.
I was thinking the same thing you were, and you could tell on the field there was a lot of discussion on what that's going to be.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. Boy, I don't know how the whistle didn't blow there. Take a look at this again. Yeah, that's the Dutch ball, and that should be an indirect free kick inside the 18, right at that spot. We've seen that called in this tournament. Boy, seen a couple of calls here that have not gone the way of either side. Listen, we talk about it all the time. It's part of our job, Shelby. Referees are volunteering their time, doing everything they can. That's just part of it, right? And people are going to make mistakes. I make about 1,000 a day. But I don't know. That seemed like it should have been a free kick there for the Netherlands inside the 18. And that is it. Halftime. It was a wild half between Mali and the Netherlands, but it's 1-0 Mali thanks to a goal in the 39th minute towards the closing minutes of that first half by Umu Coney, her second of the tournament, Shelby. And it was a pretty ball, a beautiful pass by Umu Tangara to set her up.
And what a great way to come into the second half, one up on the Netherlands team. And both teams are going to go in the locker room here and talk over some strategy and try to figure out what can we do to come out here and either score another one or at least get one in the back of the net for the Netherlands team.
So Mali leads the Dutch 1-0 at the break. They're going to talk strategies, and then we'll get ready for the second half. We have a great package for you guys today, much like the countries at CISM. Our host here for the tournament is a team. Fairchild Air Force Base is home to 92nd Air Refueling Wing and the Washington National Guard's 141st Air Refueling. Together, they are Team Fairchild. Let's take a look at the vital missions these dedicated airmen perform every day.
Air attack 101, about above the head right now. Is that what you think? Air attack, go ahead. Yes, stop.
I joined the Guard because, we're all about the neighbor and the nation. And this mission is exactly that. We're going out, flying our home state's DNR lands, Department of Natural Resources, helping put out these fires so that we can enjoy summer and, protect homes and lives. Even though this is the third year we've done it, and we're still developing our capabilities and having to kind of educate the Forest Service on what we can offer. And every time they see our capabilities, they want more of it. So it's very gratifying.
Perfect.
Taking a look at the highlights from the first half, you saw a diving save there by Zoe van Broekhoven. It was a goal for Mali, Shelby, in the 39th minute. A perfect ball into the box by the left center back, and Umu Tangara found Umu Kone, and Kone struck for her second goal of the tournament. You see it right here past the diving van Broekhoven. That's the difference.
Although Mali coming in the second half with 1 goal, both teams have been doing great against each other here. It's, like I said, evenly matched here on the field, and I think the Netherlands are going to come out hard and try to get at least 1 in the goal and tie it up here in the second half.
Both teams coming back out onto the pitch, talking over the strategy on what they're trying to do here in this second half. But adjustments, what can be made? The Dutch, they had a couple of good opportunities in that first half. I think they'd like to be getting more. Taking a look at some of the numbers, Mali has 6 shots, the Dutch have 3, and the Netherlands does not have a shot on goal. Mali has 3 of their 6 on frame. So for the Netherlands, what can they do to build this attack?
I think it's hard to beat the Mali team in speed, right? So like we were talking about a couple of games ago, is letting the ball do the work, making those passes, those long passes, but accurate, and then going to the ball when the ball is passed to you, because this Mali team is great at intercepting and anticipating these passes.
And for Mali, how can they put a second into the back of the net here?
You know what? I think they've been doing a pretty good job. They've crashed the goal. They're pushing their offensive. They're switching positions to make sure that they're covered. They're doing all right. I think maybe kind of making a little bit more, building the plays from the center like they have been, and just capitalizing on the outsides and crashing in can really get them another goal in the second half.
Second half here underway. Kone jetting straight for the 18, as she always does, and tends to win a lot of these 50-50 balls, and she's fouled right away, so already could be a decent opportunity here for Mali.
Coming on the field.
So taking this free kick is going to be Umu Tangara, who set up the first goal.
We'd love to see the Mali team here crash in the goal and get a touch on the ball.
6 on the edge of the box. Tangara going to take a try with van Broekhoven, and van Broekhoven makes the save. So there are 2 substitutes to talk about for the Netherlands. Mali did not sub at the half. So the 2 subs for the Dutch, 9 is into the match. That is the goal scorer for the Netherlands. That's Caroline Moland. So Moland is in, coming out of the match surprisingly. This is a shocker to me, is Mout Sakbal. So Sakbal is out and Moland is in. So it's 9 for 5. If you guys are following along and writing it down at home. And then also there's one more substitute to get to after I write this down. 11 is in for 7. So Susanna Block is into the match for Daniela van der Velde. So van der Velde is out and Block is in.
You know, maybe the strategy here is for the Netherlands, bringing Moland in, a goal scorer. Maybe they're saying, okay, our defensive line is doing all right, but what we need here is the offensive attack and someone who can make something happen here in the second half. And maybe that's what they're thinking by putting her in there.
We talked about it earlier, but she scored the Netherlands' first goal of the tournament in their 3rd match of the tournament. Last match in stoppage time in the second half. So in additional time, Moland, who came off the bench, was able to strike one into the back of the net. It was such a great feeling for the Dutch. Good back heel there. Unable to control it, though, was Nina Diarra.
Good play by Coney there, the back heel, like you were saying. Just having that awareness that someone behind me can get a better angle on it than I can.
That's going to be a foul against Nina Diarra. And the head referee, Jan Wild, is saying, please don't argue with George Prionis. It's been the little things for the Dutch in this tournament. Talked about them. A lot of times when we're talking about X's and O's, it's some of the bigger plays, attacking chances, and the back line defensive opportunities and whatnot. Foul's going to be called. Free kick here for Mali. It's going to be about 30 yards out or so. But the Dutch have had problems at times just stringing together those little passes. It's been little mistakes for the Netherlands that have cost them. So Fatoumata Dembele to take the free kick here. Two-woman wall for the Netherlands. Dembele on frame, but saved by the keeper.
I want to talk a little bit about what you were saying, just the little things for the Netherlands. And what I've been seeing often is not coming to the ball. You know, when you get a pass to you, some people may think, okay, let me wait for it to come to me. But what I was taught and what I see a lot of these teams doing is making a few runs towards the ball and being the first one to it, because what this Mali team is doing is they're running right around the Netherlands team and the players to get the ball and intercept it before they even have a chance to get a touch on it.
And the Dutch hardly ever booted down the pitch. Every time there's a goal kick, it seems like they are content with playing it through the backs. We've talked about this a lot. Now it's being booted, but kind of wildly there. I think I'd like to see the Dutch in that situation. Just, if you're going to boot it down anyway, like you see Van Broekhoven doing there, why not start out with that?
Well, it's a little bit risky, and it puts my hairs up when it's passed back to Van Broekhoven right there in front of the goalpost with the pressure, the immediate pressure from the Mali team. It is absolutely so risky because they can easily, like I said, intercept that ball and get a 1v1.
It just seems like the Netherlands are playing so much in their defensive third, and now that Coney could have a one-on-one with the keeper. Umu Coney has a teammate, instead tries the goal and scores again. Her second of the match, her third goal of the tournament. That puts her into the top 10 category here in Spokane, and Mali in the 52nd minute leads 2-0.
Man, I've seen it. The first goal, this goal, it's that easy push pass into the side net. You can see it here. Just calm, no excitement, nothing, no scare, no jitters, no nothing. Just easy push pass on the ground to the goal.
So Umu Coney with her second, her third goal of the tournament. She had Nana Diarra to her right if she wanted to elect to do that, but just in case Nana Diarra was offside, she decided to take it herself and connect it. So Umu Coney, she has had quite the tournament. And remember, she picked up a yellow card last match. Mali cannot afford to lose her, so she's got to be careful here in the second half as well. Just like she was careful with that shot attempt. So smooth, like you said, not scared of the moment, not scared of anything. Able to put it in the back of the net. And we were just talking about that. I mean, that's what the Netherlands has been doing, just playing through their backs. And I'm not sure why they don't just have Van Broekhoven or a defender on a goal kick, boot it down the pitch and get it around center circle, get it out of there. Maybe you set something up from midfield. So players down here for Mali. I believe it's Fatoumata Karambe that is down here for Mali. Yeah, so that is Karambe. So Karambe is down here for Mali. So Karambe, who's played great at that right back spot. Let's hoping that it's a stinger. Put a little ice pack on there, and then also the shin guard back on, make sure she's okay. She'll be coming and checking back into the match soon. But a free kick here for the Dutch inside center circle. Left foot, and it will find the keeper. And Parantao, who hasn't had to work too hard today. Shelby hasn't been tested a whole lot. There have been 0 shots on frame for the Dutch.
There she is again, Gabriel, just being that wall for the defensive line, getting a leg up there and making sure it doesn't go past there at the 40-yard line.
Foot race here. That's Fatoumata Diarra. Fatoumata Diarra trying to find Coney. Coney looking for a hat trick. It was intercepted there by Emma Verdosdonk.
Something about Emma Verdosdonk that's interesting is she's actually a reservist for the Netherlands Army. She's a soldier too, and she's actually going to school to be a doctor.
She also plays on the first team for RCL. It's a team she plays for back in the Netherlands. So Mali throw in here, 56th minute. Story has been Umu Kone. This Mali team, Netherlands have had very few chances on their attacking third. Mali has controlled possession incredibly well, and you see a corner kick here. So walking slowly to the corner flag, and the corner kick spot is Fatoumata Diarra. She will take it.
This could be a chance for the third goal for the Mali team.
So Diarra, high arcing into the box, finds the feet of Coney, because of course it does, and then both Paters gets it out of there. Foul's going to be called there. 2 subs getting ready to check in here for Mali for the first time today. So 8 and 6 are coming in. So Utenen Bagayoku is coming into the match. She actually scored the lone goal for Mali last match against France, despite being down a woman. They were down a player because of the red card to Aissata Kita. So Utenen Bagayoku is in. Coming out is Fatoumata Kubili. So Kubili in that left wing spot is out. So that's where Utenen Bagayoku is coming into.
Coming on the field, number 6, Farima Toure.
And then also checking in is number 6. So Farima Toure is into the match for Mali, and she is checking in for Mariam Kita. So Kita out, and you have Toure coming in. Throw in here for Mali on the far flank. And Bo Peters set something up. This looks like a good attacking chance. Rihanna Udians. Udians, right foot try. Nobody was there for the Dutch. And finally, the keeper for Mali. And Karan Ta'o is going to corral it. Boy, that was actually a great ball there by Udians. But again, no one for the Dutch made a run.
We talked about it so much already. Crashing the goal, just being there for your teammate when you do make that pass or even a shot attempt to make sure you can get a foot on the ball or a body part just to get it in the goal. And that would have been perfect play there.
Coney got to box her out. Van Broekhoven was outside the 18. There's a deflection, and going down immediately is Giara. Here is Coney. Right foot try, well off the mark there by the new substitute there for Mali and Farima Toure. So the player that's down is Fatoumata Giara. So Giara is down, and the training staff coming back out. 60th minute here. 2-0 Mali. If you're just joining us, we appreciate it. Alex Gould alongside me is U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. 2 goals into the back of the net. One in the 39th minute. The other goal was in the 52nd minute by Umu Coney. She now is tied for second place in the tournament with 3 goals. And in a little bit, I think we're going to show you that goal leaderboard. So I'll save that. We'll tease it. Save that for the hydration break. She's now on that list as well. See 10 other names on that list alongside her.
And again, another short ball by the goalkeeper, Van Broekhoven. But getting it up there is the defensive line for the Netherlands. Another throw in by Mali.
Now the 63rd minute here. Again, the match coming up next tonight is Canada versus France. That will take place at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Canada looking for their first tally of the tournament. And then France trying to match South Korea to be the second team in this very group. In Group B, could be an opportunity here, but a foul was called. So a push was called there on Jan Wild. So that was Lieutenant Bagayoku who just checked in.
A quick play by Van Broekhoven and then telling your teammates, push up. Let's get on the offensive while we have the chance here.
And that's what we've been talking about, putting it down the pitch. But France trying to be the third team in this tournament alongside Cameroon and South Korea to start 3-0 and win their first 3 matches. France trying to set up a Spokane showdown in a couple of days. South Korea takes on France at 3:30. Could be an opportunity here for Mali. Coney looking for the hat trick, but she was offside. And that was a play there, Shelby. Nana Diarra should have taken a shot herself. Coney was offside, and now a yellow card, I think, for arguing was given to Nana Diarra. That is Diarra's first yellow card of the tournament.
This makes 5 players on the Mali team playing with a yellow card and 5 chances to get that double yellow and have to sit out the next game.
And Mali's played so well in this match. You do not want to see. They already lost 2 players for this match that we've talked about already, but Aisata Kita with her double yellow last match, and then also Rukio Bagayoku, who got 2 consecutive yellow cards in 2 consecutive matches. Good through ball here. Beautiful pass inside the 18. Coney, but the flag goes up. Offside. We're getting arguing again there from Mali. That is Lieutenant Bagayoku. Bagayoku thought she timed her run perfectly, but George Pionis, the assistant referee, raised the flag.
That's a good boot there from Von Broekhoven. Across the field and moving the ball forward.
Bisaglia. Bisaglia trying to make a run here, but she stopped in her tracks. And now a counter could be on here for Nana Diarra.
So something else about the Netherlands team is when we were talking to some of the liaison and the coaching staff, they all don't really know each other that well. This is kind of the first time that a lot of them have played together. But they're saying that this tournament has been an awesome opportunity for them to get to know each other better, to build some camaraderie, and it has been a fun time getting to play with one another here for the first couple of times in the tournament. And that might be kind of a testament to a little bit of why the passes aren't making those connections as much as they might for a team who does play together normally.
Chance down the flake here for Bagayoku. Plays it to the middle. Right foot. Because of the sun, we've talked about it. Sometimes it's not a bad strategy to play it up there. A lot of keepers have had problems with the sun. Good ball there by Von Broekhoven to Bisaglia. Now foul is going to be called there on Binta Diarra.
But you saw there a pat on the back, the sportsmanship here in the game a little bit. They're making sure each other's okay. You know, of course, you know, they got the foul called on them, but able to make sure that the other teammate, the other player, is doing all right.
Mali attack is building. Coney, who has 2. Coney, left foot laser deflected. Nana Diarra. And the flag goes up again. Nana Diarra, that's the 3rd time she's been called for offside. Good touch to Peters here. And foul is going to be called. Actually, no. Offside was called. That was the other assistant referee on the far side of the pitch there. And Tobias Kosiski from Germany, he raised the flag. There it was again, Shelby. That pass here on the near side, the connection has just not been there for the Dutch.
And you saw Diarra, she was almost there. She was running to the ball, working hard to try to get that interception.
Good header there by Somsom. Here's Udians, but Udians again, the blazing speed over there. That was Fanta Kunati. Just not allowing this Dutch attack to build. But how important, I want you to talk about it, how important is communication on the pitch? I mean, we've seen some of these passes just not on the same page as Binta Diarra is down here on the near side, so play continuing. At some point we'll see if the whistle's blown, but Binta Diarra, way away from the play, is down. George Prionis, the assistant referee, trying to see if she can move off the pitch here.
You know, you talk about communication, and like I said before, the Netherlands team, they haven't really played together that often. So, as you can see with the South Korean team, the French team, they play pretty often with each other, so they can really communicate without even having to talk to one another and know where people are going to run and where the play is going to go. But the Netherlands team, they are having trouble, and I think communicating a little bit more, talking to each other, yelling, pointing, passing, will be able to help make those connections.
So Binta Diarra is down. Two trainers coming out for Mali to check on her. Couple of subs are going to check in here as Diarra is getting helped off the pitch. So a couple of subs checking in. So 12 is in for 22. So Laura van Meer is checking in. Coming off the pitch is Rihanna Udians. So Udians is out, so 12 for 22.
And number 22, Rihanna Odeon.
So Van Meer
Coming on the field
is in. And then taking a look, 19 coming in to the match. So 19 for the Dutch is Esme Verpluhan. I think this is the first time we've seen Verpluhan coming in for the Dutch.
Once again, you saw there the crashing the goal, the lack of crashing the goal there, and it could have been an opportunity for a Dutch score.
So we've yet to see a water break here, and we're in the 72nd minute. And normally it's supposed to take it first, or it should be halfway through the half. I'm hoping that Jan Wild wasn't counting that injury from Diarra as the water break, because we have a nice graphic we want to show you here coming up soon.
Mali restart from the back here with Karantao.
Also, too, I think maybe we need to look at the rules, you and I, and see when the exact water break is supposed to be. I'm not sure. Maybe it's up to the head referee and his discretion on when he wants to take it. I thought we were told before the tournament that it was supposed to be taken halfway through each half, but it's been a little inconsistent at times, as this is a left foot try and a save there by Karantao. So a left foot try there from Refka Derier is saved by Karantao, and I believe that is the first shot on frame there for the Dutch. Yeah, that is their first shot on target, first shot on goal. Had to make Karantao work for the first time today. see the replay there. Good save, diving to her left.
Over there, Som working hard to get her teammate, the ball, or one of her teammates.
Here's Diarra trying to lead Nana Diarra. That was Binta Diarra to Nana Diarra. Off the chest here.
Nice poke.
So that
Just
was
didn't connect.
Moland who scored the first goal and the lone goal of the tournament for the Dutch. So subs getting ready to check in for Mali. That's Jalika Kamara. So Jalika Kamara getting ready to check in. Not yet, not until the next stoppage. But Jalika Kamara is coming in for Nana Diarra.
Nice poke there.
Left foot try again. So at least the Dutch mounting the attack, trying to test the keeper in Karantao. Has to make the save. Much better Dutch attack here. That shot was taken by Moland.
I agree. They've been, for the last minute or 2 minutes or so, they've been really on the attack, the offensive, making some passes and through balls to get it to their flanking forwards.
Moland again. Slide tackle there, and a foul going to be called. No card, but the foul going to be called there on Lindsay Habriel.
Like I've been saying, she's a wall. She's a brick wall for the Dutch defense back here, just making it very hard for Mali to get through.
And this is the sub that we were talking about. So Nana Diarra is coming off. Jalika Kamara is coming in. So that's the end of the day for Nana Diarra.
Substitution for Team Mali. Coming off the field.
So free kick here for Umu Tangara.
Coming on the field, Jalika Kamara.
The Dutch have been building here the last 10 or so minutes, but still trying to find something. And as we've talked about, for the Netherlands, this is their final match of the tournament. Trying to go out with a bang and go out in style. If they can put two into the back of the net here in the final 15 plus minutes.
They're definitely trying to make it happen here, getting a touch on the ball.
All right, we're going to take a look. I'm assuming that the water break was already called during that injury, but this is a pretty cool graphic that we're taking a look at here. You have Haley Robertson is the goal-scoring leader so far for the United States through 3 matches. She has 4, and then look at that. There are 10 other players in this tournament that have also scored 3 goals in this tournament. And Umu Koni, who I know is not quite up there, but she is also now a part of second place in the goal department. But those other names, of course, we'll get to them, are Kaylee Utley, Katie Gernsbacher, Sonia Batoshek, Youngmin Lee, Morgan Duporche, as well as Zara Pallison, and then Tabe for Cameroon, Eto for Cameroon, Danga for Cameroon. So that is the list of goal scorers. We're going to keep updating that. Showcase that the next match, of course, because 2 French players are on that list, and Duporche as well as Pallison. But Umu Koni, if she could score a hat trick here, Shelby, she would be tied with Robertson for first.
I don't know. I think the Netherlands team are doing a pretty good job here offensively, and the Mali team has been getting it through, so she may have a chance for a hat trick.
We talked about this yesterday, too, during that Ireland and Belgium match. Kind of nothing to lose at this point for the Dutch. And we were a little bit surprised yesterday as well. We talked about it with Germany, actually, is who we talked about. It wasn't the Ireland and Belgium because they have, another match coming up. But Germany was their last match yesterday. We were talking about it with Cameroon when they were down 3-0. Why not go on the offensive and pretty much an all-out attack? I'm actually a little surprised that the Dutch, I know you're only down 2-0, but what's the time, especially since this is your last match in group stage, what is the time you're looking for on the clock, Shelby, to push everyone up?
I think they might have been doing a little bit of that here at the last couple of minutes, just like this, where they're making those offensive plays and having Samsam up there in the middle, making the plays and being the money maker, just like that, having a shot on the goal has been very helpful for the Dutch here in the second half.
So Samsam takes a chance there, and another save for Karantao. So Karantao has had to work here in the final 20 minutes of the match. Did not have to make a save in the first half, and really didn't have to make a save until about the 70th minute. She's had to make 3 in the last 10 minutes.
You can see here on the field, too, the Dutch, they're communicating to each other, coaching each other, hey, this might have been a better pass. Maybe do this next time. And I love to see that because, like you said, it's all about growing and learning and being with this team here for the first couple of matches and first time, really, this team has played together at all in the tournament. It's nice to see them kind of teaching each other.
Free kick here for Mali. Good time to shout out our crew. Hill Air Force based in Salt Lake City, Utah, part of the 2nd Audiovisual Squadron, and then Joint Base San Antonio Lackland in San Antonio, Texas. You're a part of our crew, 3rd Audiovisual Squadron. A lot of men and women in the Air Force, including yourself, Shelby, that have graciously worked this tournament, working every day, whether it's the cameramen and women who are outside in the scorching sun here in Spokane, or the men and women inside the truck, or making this show possible and making us sound better than we are. At least me sounding better than I am. So a big shout out to all these guys that have worked their butts off. Now we're getting into week 2 of this tournament, getting towards the nitty-gritty, towards the end of this World Military Football Championship.
Well, you said it right. Our team is working so hard, and they worked hard before the tournament in preparation for this to give the best look at these goal attempts here by Mali.
A shot. Coney looking for the hat trick. Didn't have the angle. It's cleared away by the Dutch. Boy, Van Broekhoven had to work inside the 6 there. And Coney just didn't have the angle. Was not going to score right near the post. That was another good attack there by Mali, who's been on the attack since the start. Mali here in the 83rd minute. This is where you want to be. A lot of times you're parking the bus or pushing midfielders back as much as you can, but we talk about this a lot. The best defense sometimes is being on the attack, because then the Netherlands don't have the chance to score.
That's exactly right, and having the pressure, the constant pressure of the Mali team on these players is really just stifling any attempt to get it past the half line here for the Netherlands.
We saw Cameroon, the other African nation here, dancing, singing. They were so happy and pleased with their 3-0 start, understanding that they could be the first African nation to play for the gold medal. But Mali, this has been the story, trying to get their first win ever in the CISM World Military Football Championship. Be their first ever win. This is Giara. Right foot cross deflected. It's going to be a throw-in. But you know, they can sense it on that Mali sideline. They can sense it on the pitch. They can sense it back in Africa, back in Mali.
really just minutes away, too. It's the excitement, the jitters. It's really intense here on the field.
And Mali has the chance, too. This would give them 3 points for the very first time ever. They have the chance, too, against Canada. Coming up in a couple of days. They are the final match, Canada versus Mali. That's 7 p.m. Pacific time match to win a second match. Potentially get 6 points in their first ever tournament. We saw with Cameroon yesterday, it means a lot. I mean, it means a lot to these women to get the chance and come represent their countries and wear the colors. As Netherlands still looking for their first goal. It's now or never. Right foot try and well wide of the mark.
I think it was a good attempt there because I'm trying to think of it any other ways, and I think the pressure from the Mali team might have caused a transition between the teams there. So I think kicking it was probably the best bet there.
And now another yellow card. That's going to go on the keeper there for stalling. So Karanta'o picks up a yellow. Well, the team has had a lot of yellow cards in this tournament. They now have 6 players who have either received a yellow card in this match or the previous match. And they're trying to get out of this not only with a win, but making sure that they have their starting 11. Of course, they're going to get Aisata Kita back as well as Rukia Bagayoku.
Great control there in the front by Dijara.
Good ball here.
I don't know if you can see, Gabrielle is here up in the front. She's listed as a defender, but she is working her butt off up there in the front. And actually, her grandpa was in the Army, played soccer, and had the same number as her, that lucky 13.
Some blazing speed here on the far flank. This is Bagayoku. Lieutenant Bagayoku trying to play it to her right in the 18, dispossessed. I know the Dutch have tired legs out there. Trying to see if they can make one last push. A lot of times, all it takes is one into the back of the net, Shelby, and then you feel like you have a shot. Yeah, you feel like you have a chance.
Well, you can see here, even the Dutch is really pushing their numbers, like you were saying, kind of make an all-out attack with the team.
Netherlands trying to space here, but again, the quickness from Mali. Inta Diarra is trying to find her teammate there, and Fatimata Diarra.
Von Broekhoven coming way out the box to help her teammate clear the ball there in the back.
So Zoe von Broekhoven, immigration officer, military police woman. Talked about her last match playing for FC Ron Vogels, Katwijk. Flag goes up offside on Mali. And Emma Verdasdonk, who gives way. So Van Broekhoven in the 89th minute, trying to set up something here.
You gotta talk, we've been saying.
Chance here for Gabriel inside the 18, and there it is for the Dutch. How about that? We've been talking about it all tournament long. Good things happen when the keeper boots it down the pitch, Shelby. We've been saying it. You just talked about Gabriel, and the Dutch have their first in this match, their second of the tournament, and all of a sudden only trail by one here in the late stages.
That lucky 13 we were just talking about, she moved up. She was a defender, being that wall in the back and moving it up. Gabriel made that goal, and just being that utility player to be able to make such an easy pass right there into the goal.
And it looked like that was an assist from Sumsum, who skied in the air, got it off the head, and a perfect run by Gabriel. So now Mali says, well, only up one. Let's go back on the attack, but has to be careful here. 4 minutes, it looks like, are going to be added of additional time. So there is time for the Dutch here, Shelby, to try and knot this game up at 2.
A couple of these teams have shown us that it does not take long to score a goal on this field. And like you said, they have 4 minutes. The Dutch has 4 minutes to make some changes, make some plays to get another goal in the back of the net.
Fatoumata Karambe. It's deflected.
There will be a minimum of 4.
Again, you got to give everything here for the Dutch, and that's what they did there. Boy, we've said it the whole tournament. A lot of those balls passed between the backs, I think, could have been opportunities to push it up towards the middle of the pitch, at least get it out of there. That's exactly what we saw there from the keeper. And Van Broekhoven, give her a lot of credit. Again, it was hard to see on the replay there, but I think it was Margriet Sumsum who got the header over to Lindsay Gabriel, and Gabriel struck in the back of the net. The Dutch got their first goal last match against South Korea in additional time. They get one here in the 89th minute. This is going to be a corner kick here for Mali. Trying to go back up by 2. Inside the 18. Coney. Cleared away for now. Could be an opportunity here for the Dutch. This is Molen. She scored last match. Sumsum. Boy, would this be a stunner if the Netherlands could find a way to strike twice within 5 minutes. Coney plays it out wide. Flag goes up offside. Just ahead of the defense there was Lieutenant Bagayoku. Quick substitution here for the Dutch. So Liana Vanderpoel is coming off. I'm assuming they're getting more offensive players in here. That's 23 checking in. So that's Kimberly Harrodson, who we have not seen in this tournament. So she's coming on.
Number 10, Liana Vanderpoel. Coming on the field, number 23.
So Harrodson is in. Mali doing a good job since they let up the goal of playing on the attack. Coney to her right. Has a teammate. That's Chiara. Chiara right foot try, and it's a goal. Back of the net, and a celebration. They can feel it back in Mali as Fatoumata Chiara strikes into the back of the net. Umu Coney set her up beautifully. And despite the Dutch scoring late, Mali likely going to be winners for the very first time in the CISM World Military Women's Football Championship, Shelby.
It looked like Chiara had little to no pressure by the Dutch defense, and that's exactly why that goal was scored. She was in a perfect position to make the pass and make the shot, and with a team like Mali, you cannot leave them open. They have the speed and the skill to get it in the back of the net, just like that.
Very exciting final 10 minutes of this match. Poked out wide. Here's Sumsum inside the 18. Crosses one. Was it deflected? It was not. It's going to be a goal kick here for Karantao. So roughly 60 seconds remaining. Netherlands got their second goal of the tournament.
And a quick kick there.
But are going to fall short. Again, the storyline coming in, Shelby. Very first time the African nation of Mali was looking for their first win. Were they going to get it against the Netherlands? They're about 30 seconds away from celebrating.
We know they're going to celebrate too. We saw the Cameroon team yesterday dancing in front of our cameras, singing songs, helping each other, hugging each other, and it was a fun time. So I know we're going to see the same from Mali, being that excitement to make their first win here in the 13th CISM World Military Women's Football Championship.
Now we're just waiting on the head referee, and Mali is Jan Wild to blow the whistle. What a match for this woman here with the ball. And ever so fitting for Umu Kony and Mali. For the very first time, they are victorious in their very first ever CISM Women's Football Military Tournament. They are winners. They defeat the Netherlands 3-1. I know this match, Shelby, started at 10:30 p.m. back in Mali, but you got to think a lot of fans stayed up late into the past hours of midnight to witness history. What a match it was.
Absolutely. You saw Giara there helping up Mullen on the ground. The sportsmanship, them coming up to the players and saying, hey, it's okay, great game. They are so excited to come away with this win. And their first win of the tournament, like you said, it's exciting here. And look at them clapping hands. And just like I said, the respect between the two teams is phenomenal.
So for the Dutch, their group stage of the tournament comes to an end, but not before they got another goal. It was set up well by the keeper and Van Broekhoven on the head of Somsom, and then Lindsay Habriel, you talked about lucky number 13 with a strike there. So that was good to see. Dutch did not give up. They scored late. They made it a match there in the 89th and 90th minutes plus stoppage time. But then Mali does what Mali does best. They said, all right, well, if you're going to score, we'll score another one before the end as well. And Umu Kony, I mean, looks like one of the best players in this tournament. Had 2 more goals today. She's now tied for second in amount of goals in this tournament, and also set up her teammate and Fatoumata Giara brilliantly.
It was an exciting second half and really an exciting game overall. There was a lot of great plays, and both goalkeepers worked their butts off. But let's check out some highlights of the game and see what was done here on the field to get this 3-1 Mali over Netherlands.
So our final match of the night is between France and Canada. That will be a 7 p.m. first touch. That'll be in 93 minutes. Hope you can join us for France and Canada. France trying to tie South Korea at the top of Group B rankings and standings and set up a star-studded showdown in a couple of days. We will see you in about 90 minutes.